What happens if the prime lending rate does not go down on June the 5th? Hello friends, we here in Canada looks like are on the brink of a rate of interest change. Let's delve into this topic today and discuss what can happen if or not the rate of interest changes on June the 5th, 2024. Before we start, my friends, you all know that the moment we reach 2,000 subscribers, your name will go in a draw if you are subscribed, and the winner gets a $250 Costco gift certificate. Just by subscribing, you get your name in for the draw. And thank you very much for the overwhelming response to my last two videos. Number one was the luxury home market in Ontario, and the second was the financing of your dream luxury home. We are very pleased here with your queries and responses and questions. For those who have not watched these two videos, I am adding the links of both the videos down here in the description box. Looking forward to chat with you once you watch those videos. Coming back to today's topic, my friends. The anticipation surrounding the Bank of Canada's decision on the prime lending rate on June the 5th has heightened, with the economists, businesses and consumers keenly watching. Should the Bank of Canada decide to maintain the current rate, several significant implications could unfold, impacting various sectors of the Canadian economy. Number one to discuss is economic growth and consumer spending. Now, one of the immediate consequences of not reducing the prime lending rate would be the continued pressure on consumer spending. The prime lending rate directly influences the interest rates on consumer loans, including mortgages, car loans, and credit cards. Higher borrowing costs can dampen consumer enthusiasm to spend on big ticket items. With consumer spending constituting a substantial part of the GDP, any decrease in consumer expenditure could slow down the already slow economic growth of the country. The Canadian housing market, particularly in major urban centers, has been a critical driver of the economy. High prime lending rates translate into higher mortgage rates, making home ownership more and more expensive. Potential home buyers may delay purchasing decisions, leading to a slowdown in the housing demand. This could in turn result in a cooling of the housing market, which is already limping because of the extremely high rate of interest, and will impact real estate prices and construction activities. For current homeowners with variable rate mortgages, the financial burden could increase, leading to higher monthly payments and potentially reducing disposable income for other expenditures. Businesses are also feeling the ripple effects of prime lending rate. Higher interest rates mean increased borrowing costs for businesses seeking to finance expansion projects or manage operational costs. Small to medium-sized enterprises which rely heavily on bank loans might find it challenging to invest in growth or hiring additional staff. Consequently, this could hinder job creation and innovation within the economy. Now, if you're liking this video, please friends, smash the like button. You will never miss any of my informative videos, and it will also allow you, the YouTube algorithm, to show this video to other consumers like yourself. Coming back to the topic of inflation and monetary policy. We all know that inflation control remains one of the primary objectives of maintaining higher interest rates. If the prime lending rate is not reduced, it might indicate that the Bank of Canada is focusing on keeping inflation within target levels. However, this approach could be a double-edged sword. While it may prevent the economy from overheating and control price increases, it could also suppress economic activity, leading to lower growth. As of today, We stand at an inflation of 2.7%, which is very, very reasonable, and it has come back from 8.1% in February 2022 to the current level of 2.7% in April 2024. This data suggests that this most powerful indicator of the rate of interest increase suggests that now the rate should go down. Also, a steady prime lending rate can affect the Canadian dollar's value on international stage. Higher interest rates often attract foreign investors seeking better returns on their investments, leading to the appreciation of the Canadian dollar. While a stronger currency makes imports cheaper, benefiting consumers and businesses that rely on imported goods, it can make Canadian exports more expensive on the global market. This might hurt export-driven sectors which are vital for Canada's trade balance and overall economic health. Now, the decision to maintain the prime lending rate could influence consumer and investor confidence as well. If the public perceives that the Bank of Canada is cautious about lowering rates of interest due to underlying economic risks, it might lead to a more conservative financial behavior amongst consumers and investors. This cautious approach can reduce speculative bubbles and promote long-term financial stability, but may also result in a slower economic growth. Now, the Bank of Canada's decision to maintain the prime lending rate on June the 5th will have broad and multifaceted implications. While aiming to control inflation and ensure financial stability, the move could slow economic growth, impacting consumer spending and temper the housing market. Businesses might face higher borrowing costs, potentially stifling expansion and innovation. Additionally, the decision could influence the Canadian dollar's value and the country's trade dynamics. Balancing these outcomes will be crucial for policymakers as they navigate the complex economic landscape in the coming months. And a very important question is that does Canada risk recession if the prime lending rate is not reduced on June the 5th? Well, I think it does. The decision to maintain the prime lending rate on June the 5th at 7.2% carries a significant implications for Canada's economic trajectory. While it is not a certainty that Canada will enter a recession if the rate is not reduced, several factors indicate that there is an increased risk of economic downturn. Well, in conclusion, we can say that while maintaining the prime lending rate on June the 5th does not guarantee a recession in Canada, it certainly raises the risk of recession. The potential for reducing consumer spending, in a cooling housing market, decreased business investment, and a negative impact on exports all contribute to the risk. The Bank of Canada faces a delicate balancing act, controlling inflation while supporting growth. Should economic indicators continue to weaken, the likelihood of a recession increases, making the case for a potential rate reduction more compelling in the near future. Now, the Bank of Canada's June 5th interest rate call is looming ever closer, presenting the tantalizing possibility of the first interest rate cut in a very, very long time. But there are still hurdles to clear before the central bank can pull the trigger. And one Big Six bank's economist is arguing that this is redemptive and must happen right now. If, however, the Bank of Canada does decide to cut rates, I feel that it can possibly take comfort in the company of other central banks seemingly on the verge of taking the plunge. In my opinion, friends, yes, the country needs a rate cut. It will give a positive signal to the people who are looking to buy. Millions of people are not qualifying for a mortgage because of the high interest rate and are forced to go in for second mortgages at much higher rates and expensive costs. People are behind and delinquent on their mortgages, property tax bills, and credit card payments. As a result, there is a negative sentiment in the country and the whole economic condition is causing concerns. Canada has not seen these times in the last few decades, but there is a huge possibility of this positivity in as many of the economists suggest that Feds are going to take this plunge. Hopefully, let's wait and see what the Feds decide. Should you have any questions, my friend, any questions on anything that we discussed today, please feel free to call me back. And always remember one thing, if you need financial help today, you need it today. Postponing decisions can put further pressure on your current economic scenario, and it will be harder to come out of the scenario if you go more deeper in debt. Call me back should you have any questions. Stay safe, be blessed, and see you in the next video with another topic. Thanks again for watching the video until then.